Have you noticed this? When someone is genuinely kind now, it almost feels strange, not polite, not performative, not done for credit, but real kindness. It catches you off guard, like it doesn't quite belong here anymore. And that quiet surprise you feel isn't random, it's a signal, because kindness didn't become rare by accident. There was a time when kindness blended into everyday life. You didn't stop to admire it, you didn't post about it, you didn't question it. It simply happened. A slower world, more eye contact, more tolerance for pauses and imperfection, not a perfect world, but a human-paced one. Kindness needs time. It needs presence. And time is the one thing modern life no longer gives freely. Nothing dramatic happened. No announcement. No rule change that said, be less kind. Instead, the incentives quietly shifted. Modern systems reward speed over presence, efficiency over care, output over understanding. Kindness slows things down. It interrupts flow. It introduces unpredictability. So it wasn't removed. It was simply no longer rewarded. And anything that isn't rewarded eventually becomes rare. In a world that measures everything, kindness is hard to justify. It doesn't show up on dashboards. It doesn't scale well. It doesn't optimize outcomes. You can't quantify it without breaking it. And when a system can't measure something, it slowly withdraws permission for it to exist. Not intentionally, just structurally. This isn't about people becoming worse. Most people didn't turn cold, they turned careful. We live inside constant pressure, endless alerts, endless comparison, endless crisis. To stay emotionally open in a world like this feels risky. Kindness requires vulnerability, and vulnerability now comes with a cost. So people conserve themselves. They ration warmth. They save empathy for what feels safe. Not because they don't care, but because caring hurts more than it used to. Notice something else. Kindness now raises questions. What do they want? Is there a catch? Why are they doing this? A world trained by transactions struggles to recognize gifts. When everything has a price, free things feel dangerous. So kindness doesn't just feel rare, it feels suspicious. Kindness isn't just emotional, it's physical. It asks your nervous system to stay open when it would rather shut down. In a chronically stressed world, withdrawal feels safer than warmth. Indifference conserves energy. Kindness spends it. And many people are already exhausted. But kindness didn't disappear. It went quiet. It stopped announcing itself. Now it looks like restraint instead of reaction, patience instead of urgency, helping without being seen, choosing not to harden. The loud world doesn't amplify these things. Algorithms don't hate kindness. They just don't recognize it. They amplify what's fast, loud, and reactive. Kindness is none of those things, so it doesn't travel far. And what doesn't travel begins to feel extinct. The most meaningful help rarely arrives dramatically. It arrives as timing, as a pause, as someone who shows up without needing to be remembered. The world doesn't notice these moments, but the people inside them never forget. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Anything that still exists without incentive, without applause, without reward, is something deeply human. Kindness now survives in spite of the system, not because of it. And maybe that's why it feels so powerful when you encounter it. It reminds you of something older, something quieter, something that refuses to disappear. So if kindness feels rare, it's not because humanity failed. It's because kindness doesn't belong to machines, metrics, or optimization. It belongs to people. And the fact that it's still here at all means something important. has survived.